Here you are arriving at a new country and ready to study here for several years. Eye-opening, luxurious, easy to make friends with people from all over the world, and effortless to experience diverse cultures.
Because they're totally harmless.
Actually, behind the glamorous image of studying abroad, there's often a different reality. Language barriers, study pressure, cultural adaptation issues, financial stress, and homesick can take a toll on mental health. Within the Social Cohesion Index, which is used for measuring sense of belonging with a benchmark score of 100 in the first measure year 2007, the Australian sense of belonging domain measure was 78 in 2023. It is lowest value since the index began. Sense of belonging is a feeling of being part of a larger group or connected to a broader community. As an important determinant of well-being, it often mentioned by the international students who study abroad. The number of international students studying in Australia totaled 80,000 for the January to August 2024 period. International students from China mainland has reached 17,000, which takes up to 22% of international students studying in Australia. Hofstede is a famous social psychologist. He proposed 6 dimensions affecting global cultural differences. These cultural dimensions help to understand the differences in values, behaviors, and communication styles between countries and regions. As Hofstede's cultural climate map showed, China and Australia has high cultural distance, which means Chinese students may face more cultural differences than students from other countries. International students with more cultural differences tend to be harder to get good grades and adapt to local society. With the difficulty integrating academically and socially, it is often easier to bring deeper psychological challenges. Ren Yin is a Chinese student studying in UNSW.
I have studied here for 3 months. I think the biggest challenge is adjusting to new environmental and cultural differences.
How do you cope with feeling of loneliness and homesick?
I video call my parents every day and I keep in touch with my friends online. Secondly, I try to participate in some social activities such as parties organized by international students. Here, classroom interaction and critical thinking are more valued, which made me uncomfortable at first. I also encountered some difficulties in my language ability.
As Ren Yan mentioned, she attends some social activities. One of these programs is Cultural Mentor Program of UNSW. This program introduced new international students to a senior student called a Cultural Mentor. They are experienced and friendly local and international student volunteers.
I'm a final year landscape architecture student studying a master's degree. I've been in Australia for 14 years now. For a lot of local people, local students, they know what they want and they're here because they're doing something to achieve their goal. Some international students don't really know what they want why they want to be here.
As a cultural mentor, what problems do you think that international students usually encounter?
Well, actually, internally or externally, it's a little bit of both. It's the language barrier. I've seen some family issues that follow the students here because they will never go away. As a cultural mentor, my role helping the mentees make friends and provide them opportunity to get a better understanding of the local culture and a bit of study-related information. I've also organized weekly climbing sessions.
Cultural distance actually has big influence on international students' mental health. Through attending these kinds of programs, international students can more quickly adapt to local culture and reduce the probability of having mental issues. Besides this program, there are also a lot of resources provided by school. School and clubs sometimes hold mental health activities, and we can also visit school psychological and wellness clients for additional mental health problem support. These resources can help us more connected with our campus and local community, also address mental health needs when studying in a country with different culture. Even though international students are facing cultural differences and barriers from both study and life, through counseling, support groups, wellness programs, and some self-approaches, they can learn to care for their mental health and make the journey of studying abroad more delightful and colorful.